Hi, everybody, and you're very welcome along to our episode 9, series 5 of our Keep It Simple series, all about property. Now, last week we spoke briefly about the reasons why you would stage your property, but now this week I just briefly want to touch on three main points if you're time poor. In other words, you don't have enough time or resources to really, do an entire staging operation. There are 3 points I would really emphasize. The first one is to actually free up the space by reducing the clutter. So if when a potential buyer or viewer is coming in to look at a property and there's a very large pieces of furniture, it's very, very hard to maneuver around that, and it restricts the space. So it's quite challenging for a buyer to imagine the exact size. So I would suggest taking out the large pieces of furniture, any patterned rugs that the eye might be drawn to. And this would just it allowed the viewer to literally walk through the property freely, unencumbered, and it just opens up that entire space. So then the second one would be your lighting. The lighting is just so important. Let's say you've got a smaller apartment or a property where there's not a huge amount of natural light. You've got to try and enhance the lighting as much as you can. And you can do that really quite simply. Really, if you could even just maybe increase the intensity of the light bulbs that you're using, maybe some lovely floor lamps in the corners and some gorgeous little lamps as well, side lamps. And basically what they do is they're not expensive, and they can add such warmth to a property and make it so much more inviting and appealing. The third point, your gardens. Your gardens are hugely important, front and rear. Front garden, the first thing a potential buyer will see is the front garden and your front door. If the door is looking a little bit shabby, coat of paint would really, really help. And make sure the garden has been cut, there's de-weeded, and also the rear garden is equally, if not more important. Again, try and make it as attractive as possible. Simple touches, really simple touches, like you might have small little, make nice little flower pots, hanging baskets, a small little, outdoor space for your garden furniture, not expensive, can literally make a little small modest garden look so inviting. So there are your 3 points I would ask you to focus on if you don't have a huge amount of time. It's not about spending large amounts of money. It's all about presenting your property in the best possible light. So by focusing those 3 points, you're decluttering the space by reducing, I should say, creating space by reducing clutter, focusing on your lighting, your darker areas, and your front and your back garden. So this will ensure that your home will stand out in a competitive market, and also you'll achieve the strongest possible price.